Steve, Draymond's left his imprint on a lot of games. There's a lot of different ways he can do it, but what can you say about the imprint he left on tonight's game in particular?
Yeah, I thought he was probably the best player on the floor tonight. I mean, I know other guys had some big point totals and all that, but this was not a very clean game for us. And when the game gets a little grimy, it seems to be when Draymond's at his best. So we needed his grit, his rebounding, his defense, and he came through in a big way.
Yeah, Steve, along those lines with Draymond, what do you think has been key for him to have this kind of intensity and impact so early in the season, especially with the fact that he missed a few preseason games?
Yeah, I just think Draymond's approach and his attitude all year has been fantastic. He's such an emotional player and person that there have been times in his career where he's had these big swings in emotion from one game to the next, and I think he's been very consistent with his effort. He's been able to play through some of the bad spells that in the past may have gotten him down a little bit, and that's really important for our team because in a lot of ways we are only as good as Draymond is on many nights. So I thought he hung in there tonight. On a night, as I said, the numbers are a little deceiving, I think. He scored 131 points. We had 39 assists, but it didn't feel like a great effort by us. I thought our defense was poor, and we made some very careless plays out there. But on a night like this is where we really need Draymond.
Steve, along with Draymond, Kevon, Damian, you guys seem to take care of Anthony Davis tonight. You guys held him to 6 of 16 from the floor. Can you talk about, the success defensively you guys found against Anthony?
Well, I mean, Anthony is such a great player that you just try to take away his dunks. I thought we did a pretty good job of that tonight. You try to take away the easy ones and make him have to take some tough ones and try not to foul him too much. And we basically kept him off the line. I think he had 4 or 5. But it was just one of those nights for him, coming off the injury. He didn't look like his normal self, but I thought our guys competed and did a nice job defensively.
Has Jerebko been better than you expected?
He had an interesting camp. The first week of camp, he was brilliant, and we were so excited. And then the next week, I think he hit a wall, and he was kind of running in mud a little bit. And I think it was more just the physical toll of, starting training camp and traveling and playing games. And so his last week of camp was not that impressive. And the game that really, kind of seemed to catapult him was the Utah game. I didn't play him a whole lot the game before that, I don't believe. And he's been a big part of the rotation ever since the game in Salt Lake. He's been great.
Follow up with another Jerebko question. He's not going to dominate games for you, but just seems like he does a little bit of everything well. Can you just talk a little about how he's been integrated into your whole system this quickly?
Yeah, well, he's he's a unique player because he's a big physical guy who can step out and shoot a 3. But he has a good feel as a passer. He can put it on the floor a couple times and find somebody on the weak side. And he's not afraid of contact. So he's really been a nice fit.
Steve, what kind of identity do you think you've gotten with the second unit with, you're familiar with Andre, but with the combination with Jerebko and Looney and McKinney?
Well, I think we're getting good contributions. Alfonso's been really good. We know what Andre can do. And Jordan, the last few games, has stepped into the rotation. So we're playing a lot of people, and we can definitely count on all of them. I haven't been playing Quinn at all, and I know I can count on Quinn. After what he did for us last year. So I have great faith in all the bench guys. It's more just a case of finding the right combination and the right offensive sets to play out of.
Coach, how do you feel about the level of engagement to start this season versus last season?
We feel fresher this year. I think the season has set up a lot better. Just not having to travel overseas was a big deal. And having all these young guys, I think, has infused us with some energy as well. But it feels very different. Last year, I know a couple guys told us game one felt like game 41. This year, game one felt like game one. It felt like it was supposed to feel like. And we're off to an excellent start. We know we can get better, but I think our guys are in a good place.
This is a little bit along those lines, but this theme of playing with more fun, more joy. Is that a matter of just sort of repeating that to the guys? Could you tell that they were ready to buy into that idea, or?
Well, we've always talked about that here. I think I made a mistake last year, maybe talking too much about the grind, trying to get to the finals for the fourth year in a row, and shared my own experience in Chicago as a player. And this year we haven't talked about that at all. We're just talking more about enjoying the process, enjoying every day, every game. And as I said, I think having the infusion of youth on our roster has been a big deal too. The gym tends to just have more energy when you got a bunch of young guys who are all hungry and working on their game.
Steve, you talked about how Steph looks stronger this year than he has in the past, and 9 games in, he's shooting like 53% beyond the arc. I mean, it's making a joke of the line, it seems. I know it's not sustainable, but I mean, what do you think when you look at him go out there and do what he's been doing with his shot? How do you account for it?
It's I don't know. I mean, he's always been a brilliant shooter and a brilliant worker. I think that would be my best guess as to why he's through 9 games he's shooting the ball so well. I think he's so confident in his skill. But he's earned that confidence by working every day on his body, on his skill, on his approach to the game. I think he's at his peak in terms of knowing the league, knowing his opponents, understanding his body. And I think Rick Celebrini has helped him. I think Steve Nash has helped him. I think just the approach that he has each day. He's been working with Q for years. They have the same routine, but Q tells me all the time he just feels like Steph has taken another step, and maybe that's why he is shooting the ball so well. When you're stronger, your legs are there, you tend to shoot better.